Testing can be a daunting task. You may lose hours defining test scenarios and executing them, only to find that you missed a font misalignment, which caused chaos in production and 90% loss in revenue. For this, I created the AI Visual Tester, a testing node library written in JavaScript that is using the new GPT-4 Vision API to find visual issues in web applications. The principle is simple. We take a screenshot of the application that we want to test and supply it to this library. The library will send it to GPT-4, and it will return its answer. Naturally, to be able to use this, you need to have an OpenAI API key. I already covered this in my previous videos, so make sure to check out my last video for using the Auto Playwright library. Now let's see how I created this library. This method called testPhoto is doing all the work. We encode the file in base 64 as we need it this way to send it to OpenAI. We then define the headers. Of particular importance is the authorization header, where we supply the OpenAI key. Then we define the payload. Let's break this down line by line. We first define the model to be equal to GPT-4 Video Preview. This is just a preview model, and it's limited to 100 requests per day. Then we define the messages array, which holds information about the prompt we send to the API. The next object contains a role, which is equal to user in our case. Alongside it, we define the prompt. Here's the prompt I used for this library. Act as a top quality engineer. I want you to analyze what is in this image. It is supposed to be the user interface of an application. Check for visual issues, inconsistencies, UX issues. You don't need context, you just judge by what you see. Pay attention to typos, duplicated elements, or things that don't look good in a software piece. Next, we supply the information regarding the photo that we want to analyze, and at the end we set the value of the tokens to be equal to 300. This is what we need to send to OpenAI. The next part contains a try-catch statement, and inside we create the request object. We set the URL to openai.com/v1/chat/completions. We set the headers and the payload with what we've seen previously. We transform the response into a JSON, and we fetch the message like this. If you return just the choices, you will get more information, but the actual response that GPT-4 returns is encapsulated in the message.content field. If there's an error, we catch it with the try-catch statement, and we display the error message in the console. To see this in action, I have integrated it in a playwright test for my website, bitheap-tech. In this test, we are buying an element from the shop of the website. What is interesting for us is that at the end of the test, we capture a screenshot of the checkout page. Let's run our test by running this playwright command. As this library has been integrated in my playwright test, it can be triggered using this command. Now we can see that the test slowly starts and the framework executes our steps. After all the steps will be executed, our new library will start its magic. By utilizing OpenAI's powerful models, this library can analyze screenshots for visual inconsistencies, UX issues, typos, and other elements critical to high-quality software development. Alright, now we can see it finished, and we also see a list of potential improvements. Let's take some lines from the output to see what GPT-4 saw in the screenshot. This one is related to color contrast. The contrast between the text and the background seems to be adequate, ensuring legibility. However, the golden logo at the top may be difficult to see for users with visual impairments. Quite a good finding, as software needs to be inclusive, and as developers we need to think of every possible issue that may impair user experience. Another interesting finding is related to typography. The model says, the use of typography to denote different levels of information hierarchy, like headings for order received, order details, etc., appears clear, aiding in user navigation through the content. This is not an issue, but a praise. But this is actually something that can be used in a test report. That's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, as this helps with the YouTube algorithm. See you next time.